Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's nice to hear that back. Thank you. When I was signing up as ExCom officer, the very first role I took was treasurer. And eventually, I got to know what each and every ExCom role meant. And I was determined that I will not take up one role. Any guesses on what it could be?
Is it VPM?
VPM, any other guesses?
Area director.
President, area director. Okay. Good guesses. I did not want to become vice president membership at all. I was very clear. I was okay to do vice president education, which was supposed to be the one where you have to work for 6 months in a very tight schedule. I was okay to take that. But vice president membership was not my cup of tea because until that time, my thought was that I would be whatever I want to be. Whatever came to my mind, I would say it to the people just like that on their face. And I always thought people who wanted to stick around can stick around, others I don't have to care. But for a vice president membership, you can't really be that way. You have to be a little more cautious, you have to be gracious, you have to be pleasant. So I was not ready for the role at any point of time. Further, I also thought that it involved sales, which was something that I was not at all comfortable with. But in a twist of event, I ended up becoming the vice president membership of my club. And I went to my mentor and I spoke that this is not what I want to do, but I've ended up being here. So how do I go about it? So we had a lot of conversations, and I really wanted to retain my originality of being what I am. I didn't want to give up on that. So we came to a compromise saying, I'll follow two things for the next 6 months, and then I will decide what I want to do with me at a later point. So the two things that I was asked to follow was warm smile and a pleasant face. So I had to literally practice that all the time because normally when I sit like this. And then that looks like a very angry face to many people. When I'm actually thinking something deep, people think that I'm staring at them for something wrong that they have done. So I had to literally practice this face wherein I keep smiling even when I'm not intending to smile. And then, in a matter of 6 months, my approach towards people changed by large. People were very happy speaking with me. They were happy to incorporate the feedbacks that I told them. So, that little change was like a missing puzzle in my life. After that, I realized that this was what was missing in me. And I really liked the version of me that I was seeing. That was what I wanted to be, but I was not approaching it in the right way. So, a 6 month term of VPM changed me by large as a person. So I really wish that this 1 year term as area director, division director, or any other district officer, whatever you have signed up, helps you find that missing puzzle that you are looking for in yourself. Because like many say, this 1 year of district officer term is like the executive MBA that you can invest yourself in. If you follow it diligently, end of the year you will see a beautiful version of yourself, and you will see that you have changed your dreams, your aspirations, whatever you wanted to do in your life. Because for every officer term that I have done, be it a 6 month ExCom term or a 1 year area director or a division director term, I have transformed by large at the end of the term. So I really wish that the same happens to you as well. And on that note, the beautiful part is we are all going to do this together as a team. Now, Satish and Epifra spoke about the TI's mission. I'm going to share my screen. Let's see how many of you can remember the TI's mission. Because whatever we are going to do for next 1 year, we may want to do beautiful and brilliant things. We may have an out of box idea, but the core idea that we have to remember is it has to conform to the club's mission, the district's vision, and which has to be in sync with TI's vision. So the best part is it's something very unique, and it is something that is very unique to TI. You may not be able to see it in quite a lot of places. So let me share my screen and let us all read the mission of TI all together. Just a minute. So TI's mission goes like this. We empower individuals to become more effective communicators and leaders. We are not, if you see, it is not just about service, it is about empowering people. I think that's the best thing that we can give to anybody in our life, right? It's not about helping them financially, it is not about helping them by being there with them. It is about empowering them. That is TI's mission. So a district mission, which is translating TI's mission into what we can do for our district, goes like this. We build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. Sounds very simple, right? We just have to build new clubs and help achieve the existing clubs achieve excellence. And at the end of it, when you are part of all these strategies, it's going to be a wonderful thing to realize that you've done something beautiful. Now, before I go to the next slide, I said this is something that we are going to do as a team, right? There is something really interesting that I want to share with you all. Why is it that we have to grow? We are saying that we have to build new clubs. That is our first mission, right? So why is it that we have to grow? Any thoughts on that? Is growth really mandatory? Why can't we just be happy helping the existing clubs achieve excellence? Is growth something really important? Is it really essential? What are your thoughts on this?
By growing, we believe we are expanding our Toastmaster circle so that more people can benefit from the Toastmasters community, and it will help people one way or the other.
Okay, but why not manage without growth? Is it an optional thing or is it essential? Somebody says growth is life. What doesn't grow decays? Very nice, Sendil. Any other thoughts?
Time is directly proportional to growth. It should be. When time increases, growth should be also increased.
Okay.
And it is not only
you will perish. If you don't try to grow, you will perish. Growth
Okay.
will take care of attrition.
Growth will take care of attrition, and that which doesn't grow will perish is something that Sampath sir said, something in line with what other person also said. Yeah. Bring in new leaders, new clubs, new leaders. Okay.
Growth means new for me. New means happiness. So growth means happiness. So it is something mandatory.
Growth is a set of, it's a mindset actually. When you only have that mindset, you can able to sustain.
Okay.
And it is not only hunger for food, we also have hunger for knowledge, and it is our responsibility to take it to wider audience to get a maximum reach and create awareness.
Okay, very interesting answers. My answer, I'm not copying, okay? So whatever I have written here was already typed. So a couple of you also touched on these lines. The main reason to grow is that which doesn't grow dies. So growth is not just an option to see, grow just for the sake of achieving something big. It is something very essential to our sustenance, especially in education and knowledge. If you don't grow, you perish, you decay, you die. Very true. So when you are an area director or a division director or a district officer, ensure that you look forward to growth. That is very, very important. How you achieve it is even more important. In growth, I'm not speaking just about numbers. I'm not saying that you are starting your area with a 300 member area, make it as 400 at the end of it by hook or crook. That's not the point. We work towards the strategies that will help us grow and see that it organically grows. We are going to measure our growth only through numbers, but how we achieve that number is going to matter a lot for our sustainability. Now, I have an interesting anecdote to share. When I was in Bangalore, there was this buzz around this Mangalyaan mission. And that was the very first time ISRO was launching an interplanetary missile. And there was a lot of buzz around it. And I had this habit of visiting a temple every weekend because they make the tastiest laddus. So I would go there every Sunday, spend some time in the temple and eat laddus. So there was a very interesting conversations that used to happen between the priest and the people who come over there. And there was one guy who brought in a big plate with a lot of fruits and offering for the god, and he gave it to the priest and he said, please make the archana on Mars orbiter mission. For a moment, I thought I heard something else, and I placed close attention. The priest also didn't hear properly. He asked, what name, what star? You repeat that. He said, no name, no star. Please do the archana on the name of Mars orbiter mission. And priest was puzzled. He was happy with the offering. So he went to God, he did the archana, and then he came back. So I was very curious. So I went to this person and I asked, what was the archana that you made? If it's okay, can I ask you? And then he said, it was on Mars orbiter mission. So then I got very excited. I asked, are you working with ISRO? Are you a big scientist? What did you study? What do you do in ISRO? How is this mission coming up and all? And he said, ma'am, I am a secretary in ISRO. I am a contractor job. My job is to ensure that all the files, whatever they ask, I bring it from the shelf and then give it to them. Nowadays, everything is maintained in computers, but still there are a few old records that they keep it in file, and there are some confidential records which eventually, which apparently they don't keep it in the computer. They keep it in a safe locker. So this guy maintains that. And then I asked him, why were you making archana on it? And he said, see, in my office, everybody is very interested and very keen that this should go live. And I don't know the technicalities of it, but I believe in this Perumal. He is very powerful. He has given me everything I have asked for. So I am actually making archana every month because I want this mission to become success. So this guy did not have any technical knowledge, nor he had any ability to make decisions. But then he really wished that this should happen. I also strongly believe in this. Whatever I have done and whatever I have succeeded in that, it was only because many people along with me also wished and worked for it. So today, as a district, we want to grow in a very sustainable way. We want to grow. We want to reach greater heights, and sustainability is going to be our motto to reach there. And this is going to be possible only if all of us feel the same. And if all of us work together thinking of the same. Even if few of you feel this is not making sense, this is not going to work, it is very difficult for us to reach that. So district's mission and TI's mission are going to be our mission for the next 1 year, without which this is not going to be possible. Okay. And I know that all of us have signed up for this because we all believe in this district and TI's mission, and we have benefited by large through this great fraternity, and that is why we want to do this and give back to our own people and more people around. Now, this is not going to be done by one person, and this is going to be done by a big team of us. So I have my team's roles and names in the upcoming slides. Before I go there, can I ask you all to guess what are all the roles that we would probably have in the club growth team? This time I have come up with few ideas, and with my team, we have come up with few new titles as well. But let's see how many of you could get it right. What are all the roles do you think are going to be part of the club growth team this year? Please share your thoughts.
Club engagement chair.
Club engagement chair, okay.
Club retention.
Club retention chair, okay. So the club growth team has a lot of people, right? Who are all going to be the members of this team? New member identification, somebody says, okay. And if you give me an idea that I haven't thought about, trust me, we will definitely implement it. So keep your thoughts coming. What are all the roles that you think are going to be in the club growth team? Who are all part of the club growth team? Something more for marketing and PR, okay.
Like a team which maintains a club coach, club mentor, and club sponsor.
Okay, team to maintain coach, mentor, and sponsor. Club mentors, member outreach program. Okay, so let me pause there and share my screen. Okay, so the club growth team starts with club members and the executive committee. So every club member who is part of our district are going to be the very first people who are our brand ambassadors. And if they think we can grow by large. So every club member is going to be our person in the club growth team who can bring us new leads, who can bring us new members, who can bring us new ideas. And the executive committee is going to be the first point of implementation who can add those new members. Okay. And the second person in the team are going to be the area directors. So all you area directors who have signed up for the area director role, you are going to be the first implementers of club growth. So you are going to be working on every single lead that we are going to get. You're going to bring us more leads and we will work together as a team. That is an assurance that I give you. But the implementation is going to be by area directors. Just like I may want to add 10 members in a club, I may have a lot of ideas, but unless the ExCom decides to do it, as a club growth director or as a district director or even a TI's international president cannot do much if the VPM and the presidents are not interested or not in for it. So similarly, to add a new club, it is only the area director who can do it. We are all here as enablers. And it is going to be the area directors who can achieve this. So the next person in the team are the division directors who are going to work very closely with the area directors, guiding them, helping them, supporting them. And again, the division directors also will be supporting, guiding, and working with the clubs to increase the membership strength. And finally comes my club growth director and the extended team of the club growth. Okay. Now, like I said, this is going to be the core team who will ensure that the district grows by large. And like Satish said, like all of us are going to keep repeating this. While we are very interested in growing, our primary interest is to ensure that this is a sustainable growth. We don't want to just grow for this year. We want to ensure that this growth sustains and grows year on year. And that is going to be the core principle that's going to drive our strategy. Now, before I introduce all my team members, there is going to be a slightly different strategy in the club growth team this year. So I would like to spend a little time on how this is going to be arranged before I introduce my team members. So until this year, the club extension was something that was of very good importance to us, because as area director also, I think most of you must be of the same thought, because I was also of the same thought when I became an area director. Adding a new club is going to be a puzzle for us. From where will the lead come? How do I approach a lead? How do I convert it into a club? How do I convince them? How do I charter the club? And then, of course, sustenance, probably you are little comfortable, but we have a lot of gray areas here. And this is something that we really wanted to address. And we also realized that we have to give a little bit more focus to outside of Chennai in terms of extension, because I truly believe that our way of growing would be to grow further outside Chennai also in a more sustainable way. So for that, and keeping that in mind, this time we are going to have a zone-wise extension chair. For every zone, we are going to have an extension chair. So these people are going to be our point of contact for that particular zone. So this will help us ensure we are in sync with the culture, requirement, and the things that will work for that particular zone. Okay, so let me show you the zone-wise extension chairs. But before that, please pay attention to the zone that we have created. So the first zone is going to be Chennai, Kanjipuram, Tiruvallur with Hosur. This is going to be headed by one particular chair for zone 1. Similarly, zone 2 is going to be Coimbatore, Salem, Erode, and Trichy. So the zones have been created with the idea that a particular person in that zone would be able to cover all the places within, say, just 2 to 3 hours of journey, or they should be able to start, reach the place, and come back in a day. So that culturally also they are very similar. Zone 3 is going to be Madurai, Dindigul, Virudhunagar, Sivakasi, and Trichy. Zone 4 is going to be Tirunelveli, Nagarkoil, Thoothukudi, along with Kanyakumari. Zone 5 is going to be North Arcot, South Arcot, and Nagapattinam. Now, if you see, we do have few clubs in these areas, and we also have a lot of scope for expansion in the surrounding areas. So these extension chairs are going to help us with all the leads in that particular extension, in that zone. So now it's time for us to see the entire club growth team. So I haven't specifically mentioned the names of the extension chairs here because I'd be showing them here. Now, as I read out the names, I request all the extension team also to be online. So maybe once I've shown the next slide, we can ask the Zoom master to help us spotlight you all, and so people can see you all also on Zoom. Now, apart from them, we also have the retention chair, club mentor and coach chair, and we also have the club growth extended team. We'll see them one by one now. So it's going, the zone 1 chair for extension for the area of Chennai and surrounding would be Toastmaster Ganga Krishnamurthy. Extension chair for zone 2 is going to be Toastmaster Roshni Rajasekharan. This is going to be for Coimbatore and surrounding areas. Extension chair for zone 3 is Ilanjariyan Tamil Selvan. He will be taking care of Trichy, Madurai and surrounding areas. Extension chair for zone 4 is Toastmaster Subbarayan. He will be taking care of Thuthukudi, Tirunelveli and surrounding areas. Extension chair for zone 5 is Toastmaster Vijay Suranam. He will take care of the North Arcot, South Arcot and surrounding areas. All of these people are natives of that area and they understand the cultural requirements of that area, and they are also brand ambassadors of Toastmasters, and I'm sure we are going to have a very good extension with this team. Now, club retention chair is going to be Toastmaster Kalyan. Club mentor and coach, club coach chair is going to be Toastmaster Arun Kota. Apart from these people, I also have a bunch of excited and energized team members. Toastmaster Nandini, Toastmaster Srilata, Toastmaster Sharath, Toastmaster Blessy, Toastmaster Harish, and Toastmaster Ashwin. I'm not going to give an introduction about these people because all of them are going to interact with you for the entire 1 year. You will hear from one or the other person every now and then, and they are going to help you with all the club growth initiatives. So this, along with me, forms the team for club growth, apart from the area division directors and the club members with the ExCom. So let me pause the presentation here. Can I request all the extension team to come on video, and Zoom master, is it possible for us to spotlight the team, or can I request all others to go off the video for just a couple of seconds so that we can see all the club growth team together in one frame? Okay, I can see Arun, Ashwin, Ganga, Roshni, Kalyan, Ilanjariyan, Nandini, and Vijay Surana as well. So team, if you want, just unmute and say a quick hi to everyone virtually.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi all.
Hi all.
Congratulations. Best
All the
wishes
best.
for the upcoming year.
Okay.
All the best.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being there and for going to be there for us for the entire year. Okay, so like I said, this is going to be the club growth team, and we do have an idea to decide how to go about retention and how to go about extension, and we'll hear a little more on that. So before I get there, like we keep speaking, the sustainability is going to be our utmost priority this year. So the sustainability has to be taken care in two places. One for the existing clubs and one for the new clubs. So I would like to share a quick strategy on how do we aim to attain sustainability for existing clubs and for new clubs. For existing clubs, there are, of course, quite a lot of things that we have to do for sustainability, and our retention chair will give a lot of thoughts and ideas on how to implement that. The core idea is to create self-empowered clubs. It's very, very important that a club is becoming self-empowered. A club should not be run by a particular individual, be it a president or area director, club mentor, the club sponsor, or even the district or division officer. None of them should be the person who runs the club. The club should be self-empowered by itself. And how do we create self-empowered clubs? It is by creating more and more opportunities for people to become leaders, help them fail, help them do new things, help them try out new things, but be there for them when things don't work out and help them polish things. So how do we implement this is, whenever you see that, so at this point of time, you would be assigned about 3 to 4 clubs as an area director or more than 10 clubs as a division director. Analyze each and every club, see how the club culture is. Do they create leaders year on year? That is the one question that you can start by addressing. The idea is, today, if there are 7 people who are taking up XCOM roles, and then the IPP also stays with them as 8th XCOM officer, are there enough people who are in the list to be an XCOM officer eventually? It could be 6 months, it could be 1 year, it could be 2 years, but the club should have people who would eventually take up leadership roles. And why leadership roles is because that is where they are able to make decisions and strategies. So ensure that there is a lineage of leadership created, so that we create it as a culture that when somebody takes up an XCOM position again, they stay in the XCOM position for at least a period of time. I do understand that it is not something that can be implemented as we plan. For example, in a corporate club, there may be people who may leave the company. In a community club also, people may leave or move out eventually. Of course, we cannot plan for those adversities, but let us have a plan wherein we know that there are going to be people who are available. And then if they are unavailable, let us also have more people in the pipeline so that somebody else can also take up the position. So as a district officer, let us empower the clubs to become self-empowered. So how do we do this? Let me share my experience as a club mentor. So when I formed a community club, of course, it was one of the most challenging tasks that I've ever done in my life, because it took about 8 months for me to charter that club. I shouldn't say for me, it should be for us, because there were so many people who helped me charter that club. And when we chartered the club, we had 20 members who were very interested. But of course, not all 20 were active. And eventually, the club started working in its own pace, where we started creating more and more leaders. And today, I am not part of the club, but I was part of the club for the initial 3-4 years when the club needed guidance. So initial 1 to 1.5 years, I gave a lot of support, where I was there physically present every meeting. And then next 2 terms, I made the XCOM to do the things. And whenever they had challenges, for example, there was a challenge with the venue. So the XCOM came up with the venue options. I worked with them. I only shared my suggestions and I helped them execute it. Eventually, they had a challenge with membership drive. I gave them ideas. I worked with them. We created some Toastmaster awareness sessions. I was part of it. But then I let the XCOM drive the initiatives. Today, I'm very proud to say that it's one of the strongest club. I am not part of that club. And that is also something that I want to be, because I want the club to be empowered. And today, whatever is happening in the club, definitely the club has a lot of laurels to it. I don't have any contribution in that, but I'm happy that the club has become a place where it creates a lot of people with a lot of confidence. That's the idea. Of course, this is my thought process, but in any case, what we have to understand is, as a club officer, they have the right to make all the decisions for the club. So we have to empower them. We have to tell the president that even an international president cannot come and say, this is what you have to do. It is going to be the president's decision ultimately. So today we are all club officers, district officers, but we don't hold any control over any club, even our home club. You cannot say that I'm a CGD, so you have to do this in my club even. In my club, my president is the ultimate decision maker. My XCOM is the people who can come up with strategies and see what needs to be done for the club. But should I not speak up? No, you can speak up as a member. As a member, your rights still holds good. Whatever you want to ask them, whatever you want to suggest them, if you see something is going to go wrong, please tell them that there is a possibility that this may happen. Do you still want to go about it? Or do you have a backup strategy if that happens? Give them those thoughts and choices. But ultimately, if they want to do something, let them do it. We do not have the right to stop them from failing. We can only tell them that this may not work. Okay. So by doing that, we are empowering them as officers, and that will create self-empowered clubs. The second part of extension, whenever we are trying to build a new club, I'm very sure in the next 1 year, you will be working on one lead or the other as a district officer. Definitely you will work. So ensure that if it is a corporate club, the organization understands that it is not a one-time activity. It is going to be a long-term support. And secondly, even if it is a corporate initiative, ensure that the members are really, really interested in being part of the Toastmasters Club. We need at least a blend of 6 to 7 people who are understanding Toastmasters and willing to be part of it. Another 6 to 7 who kind of not understand much, but are willing to be part of it. And maybe another 6 to 7 people who don't know much, but are willing to explore. So this kind of blend will help us build a sustainable club. Like Satish said, we do not want clubs that start and end very soon. There is no point, because you as a district officer are also going to invest a lot of time. And the people who leave the club may ultimately become negative brand ambassadors for Toastmasters. So be very cautious and ensure that certain due diligence is done before we start a club, which is very, very important for its sustainability. Now, the second part of club building is the recognitions that comes to us. So TI has very clear very clear guidelines on how to recognize people for their efforts. And if you see, it is not at all a difficult thing to achieve. And apart from TI, the district also is going to recognize you by large for all your initiatives. Let's see what TI guides us to achieve the ultimate recognitions from TI. Now, this is again, this is not something that I knew as an area director. This is something that I learned after I started serving as area director. So this may look a little overwhelming if you are seeing this for the first time, but don't worry much. It's not something very difficult. You will get to know it eventually. So for an area, the highest recognition from TI is President's Distinguished Area. And for that, you have to achieve 50% plus one club to reach distinguished status with a net growth of one club, which means if you lose one club, you add one in replacement of it. So, and then you add at least another one club. This is TI's recommendation. Similarly, the same approach for division as well, 50% plus one club to reach distinguished status and net growth of one club. If you see district, it doesn't speak about club or area or division. It speaks about 8% increase in member base and club base with 55% distinguished clubs. Now, if you see in our district, 55% distinguished clubs is very easy for us because we have clubs which are very consistent about their distinguished and president distinguished status for that matter. And they achieve it year on year because they are into a autopilot kind of mode. The challenge has always been, the challenge has not even been in 8% increase in membership base or club base. The challenge has always been in retaining the existing members. So here, if we have to increase membership by 8%, it's not going to be difficult. If you see for a club with 20 members, consider 10% growth, which means you just have to add 2 people in the club for the entire 1 year, which is not something very difficult. But the challenge is always retaining the 20 people and making them renew year on year. So if we focus correctly and retain our existing members, growth will organically happen. Okay. So even if you see in President Distinguished Area or Division, adding one club is not going to be difficult for you in an entire duration of 1 year. Your challenge is going to be ensuring that you do not lose any club. That is the challenging area for us. So we will have a good number of approaches to ensure that we do not, we have this challenge addressed. So in that context, let me speak about the initiatives that we are going to bring in from the club growth end. The first initiative is what you have already seen, zone-wise extension. So there's going to be a specific extension team who is going to work for every zone. We are going to do a lot of campaign in social media. In fact, it has already started. It was something that past District Director Praveen initiated in the last term. And we do have people who have expressed interest in knowing about Toastmasters and being part of it. So the club growth team will approach them, speak with them, make them understand what is Toastmasters, and will directly connect them to the appropriate club. Most cases, it's going to be community club. If they belong to a corporate where there is already a Toastmasters, we'll connect them to the appropriate club. So this way, we are going to bring in new members by reaching them out on a larger scale from the district end. Now, after we bring in the members, the club will take care of adding them and retaining them. This is the expectation. One more challenge that we have seen is, especially for a club to charter, it takes minimum of 3 to 4 months, and sometimes even 8 to 9 months is what it takes, especially if it's a community club. Now, it is very difficult for the area directors, especially to work with the club mentors and arrange for demo meeting week on week. So we are going to create a demo meeting role player pool at the beginning of the year, from where the role players can be added to the particular meetings whenever there is a need. There is a new initiative that is going to be called Buddy Club Program. Now we are going to encourage every club to interact with another club through this Buddy Club Program. How this will happen is the clubs can choose their own buddies. It is not going to be a mapping between a strong and a weak club. Let me clarify that, because in some places it does give that meaning. So the clubs are free to choose whoever they want as their buddy. But the idea is they work together through the entire year. They can run joint meetings. They will have mentors mapping, and then they will also run some special events to bring out their creativity. Now, Buddy Club Program will be part of their Golden Gavel criteria. So clear guidelines on how this can be implemented will be discussed in that area. But the idea here is we will be able to connect clubs beyond their boundaries within our district, so that they get opportunities to work with each other and increase the membership engagement. And the value add will also be by large, because they are going to connect with clubs which they probably do not get an opportunity to interact with. We are also going to have an appreciation corner in our website, where people will be able to create testimonies for great things that they come across in TI. So for all the great educational sessions, mentorships, beautifully played leadership roles, or even a beautifully done role play in a particular meeting can be appreciated through these testimonies. And people can also add this into their profile eventually. We are also going to have Toastmasters brand building sessions, wherein for existing corporates where they have lesser membership, a senior educational speaker will be arranged from our district. So the club can create a session for a larger group of audience and publicize Toastmasters within their corporate. So if you see, we are going to work closely with both the corporate clubs and the community clubs in their membership building. Thereby, we will be strengthening the existing clubs, which is our primary focus at the moment. And this time, the district is going to have an open house initiative. This is going to be both PQD, CGD, and district directors initiative, wherein we will again share the structure at a later session. But if you see, the primary idea is we will encourage clubs to come up with their ideas and share it. And we will also be able to answer the questions that they have. So there will be an open house session every month. So 1 month we will be answering questions on any topic they have. Another month we may have a particular topic and we'll discuss the ideas and challenges. All these are very new initiatives, and we can make this a success only if the area and division directors are part of it. So in an open house, it is not going to be the trio session, it is going to be the district officer session. So please be part of it so that you also understand how the clubs are working, what are the questions on their mind, how are they coming up with initiatives and innovations. All these things are going to be our focus. So we will, I know you may have some questions in your mind. I'm going to give a 15-minute of Q&A session after the extension and retention session, wherein we will address all the questions that you have. So if you have anything, please make a note of it and we'll be able to address that. But if you see, more than adding new clubs, our focus here is to strengthen the existing clubs. In that way, the district will grow and we will grow in a more sustainable way. And of course, extension is also our preference and importance. That is why we are also giving a zone-wise extension team, and we will work together in all the leads. So if you have a thought on how this extension is going to work, we have a session coming up next. So you will understand the entire flow through that zone-wise extension team. Now, okay, there is always a question in our mind, right? So, okay, we do all this. What is the focus and how do we get recognized for this? So for that, we have a list of recognitions. I'm going to name a few, but it is going to be, I mean, there are going to be much more recognitions than this. So for you all to understand at a glance, I'm going to show a list of awards that are going to be provided or recognized for all the club growth related activities. The first one is the Smedley Award from TI. So you are all area directors and division directors. I'm very sure you must be aware of this award, the criteria and everything, but I would still like to repeat it, because if you don't know till now, please make sure that you do know it, because you are going to be the first person that the clubs reach out to you in case of any questions. So the Smedley Award is given for people, for clubs who add 5 or more members in the month of August and September. Okay, August and September, if they add 5 new members, they are going to be given Smedley Award. Similarly, if they add 5 or more members in the month of February or March, they get Talk Up Toastmasters Award. Similarly, if they add 5 or more members in the month of May and June, they get Beat the Clock Award. Now, if you see, Smedley Award is very, very important because the more members you add in the month of September or August, they are going to contribute a lot to the district for that particular term. Now, I showed you the criteria for districts to become President Distinguished or Smedley Distinguished, right? Unlike clubs, areas and divisions, the recognition for district is dependent on membership payment. So a member who is added in the month of August or September will contribute for 3 payments, while a member who is added in the month of October will only pay 2 times. Though they will be paying only a few months extra, TI recognizes district a little extra for people who are added in the month of August and September. And this is only because TI believes that if you add more members in the beginning, they are given better support throughout the term. So, Smedley Award, Talk Up Toastmasters, and Beat the Clock are the 3 awards that are given from TI to the clubs. There is also an award that many of you may not be aware, and this is something that any member can receive. It is not about the ExCom officer or an area director. It is open to every member. This is called Member Sponsor Award. So if a member adds 5 members, they get a pin from TI. Again, if they add 10 members, they also get another pin from TI. Now, how this works is the people who introduce Toastmasters to the new guest get to be the member sponsor for that particular member. The VPM who adds this member into TI should make sure that the member sponsor details are filled in when the members are added into TI. So please use this as a motivation tool for your members when you ask them to add members. So you can tell this to the club members that they get a recognition from TI when they add new members, when they act as a sponsor. And in fact, if possible, please speak to the club to recognize even people who sponsor less than 5 people. The club can give a standing ovation to people who introduced a guest as a Toastmaster. It could be something as simple as that, but it will help them feel valued for the contribution that they have done. Now, apart from that, when you serve as a sponsor, mentor, or a coach, TI again gives you a credit. This is also from TI. From district, we have the 880 award. 880 award translates like this: adding 8 new members and retaining 80% of members as of July 1st. So the base of a club is going to be whatever members they have as of July 1st is going to be their base. If they can retain 80% of members and add 8 new members, then they get this award. Now, why is this number 880? If you think deeply, if every club gets 880 award, then the district will be thriving. Not about Smedley Distinguished or #1 district, but you see the ambience in a club. A club has a lot of senior Toastmasters, so any new Toastmaster who walks in will have a new experience to learn from. And similarly, 8 new members are going to bring in a lot of energy into the club. So this is why this number 880 is very famous. So clubs which add 8 new members and retain 80% of members are going to be recognized specifically. Like I said, Buddy Club and Open House are new initiatives, and it will be part of Golden Gavel from this year. We will have detailed discussion on this at Hall of Fame and at a later point as well. So if you have any questions on this, you can reserve this, we can discuss. Apart from this, you will also have Star Area Director, Star Division Director, and many more awards. I don't want to reveal all the awards because we have a team exclusively working on all these awards, and they would have a detailed discussion on this during DOTP. So you will hear more about it. But the idea here is you don't have to work for a particular award. If you are aware that these awards are available, it will help you incentivize the club. But more importantly, if you work with the intention of strengthening the clubs and growing organically, you will get many more recognitions. That is the point that I wanted to convey. I'm almost towards the end of my discussion. I would like to leave you all with one particular thought. You all know Steve Jobs, right? So he's one of the greatest person or human that I have seen in, of course, YouTube and videos. I've closely observed him. For many people, he's a technically intelligent person. For me, he's an artist. He's not just a technically strong person because he does much more than being just a technically strong person. So there are a few instances where he has proved that. Now, he got fascinated by calligraphy, and he designed serif and sans serif font. So serif and sans serif are differentiated based on the spacing between two fonts. I don't think anybody even cared about the space between two fonts when they were designing computers, because it was something that that was their least priority. At that time, they couldn't even bring in two fonts with different sizes in a single document. That itself was a challenge. So they didn't really care about the serif and sans serif font. But Steve Jobs was the person who introduced this concept because he was an artist. And then there was a point of time when his engineers designed one internal circuit, which was beautifully functional for what it has to do. But Steve Jobs said, this is not aesthetically good, so redesign it. It was not having a problem with its functionality, or he didn't want to enhance the functionality. It was not anything on those reasons. He wanted it to be replaced or redesigned because it was not aesthetically good. Because he said, engineers are not just technical people. All my team of engineers, you are artists. Have an eye for artistic intelligence is what he used to say. Now, there is one example that you all can go back to YouTube and watch. When he launches Mac computer in 1984. So in a typical computer or a electronic good launch, the person who owns the glory comes and shows the product and then says, this can do this can do that, and quite a lot of things, and then they walk away because the features itself is very exciting, right? But if you go and watch this in YouTube, you will understand it was not just an event, it was a choreographed event. So this is how the event goes. Steve Jobs comes and he stands in front of the audience, and then he addresses the gathering, and he displays a projector with all the pictures of Mac computer. And then after a few minutes, he walks to the center of the stage. There is a bag this big, okay, this big. And imagine it is 1984 when computers used to occupy one full room to store about 100 MB of data, right? That was the time. Now, this is the size of the bag, and then he opens the bag and he says, Now you all saw pictures of Mac. Now you can see pictures from Mac, and then he assembles one monitor that has everything together, and then he adds one keyboard, and then he inserts a floppy disk, and then the Mac computer shows all possible beautiful things that it can do. It shows the Word document with different fonts. It shows the Paint with beautiful colors. And then there is a picture of Steve Jobs with Mac, and he says, "This is not greatness. This is insanely greatness." That is what he was aspiring for. Now, if you see, Steve Jobs was an artist everywhere. He even was the brainchild behind Toy Story movie. He was not a technical person. He was an artist. So you people are leaders, not just in Toastmasters. You're not just an area director. You are a leader wherever you go. So you go to a club, you go to your home, you go to office, you're going to be the same person. You can't be a great area director, great leader to your clubs and not a great person in any other place. So whatever you are going to be for the next 1 year, it is going to represent you as a person everywhere. And whatever you work as an area director, it's going to reflect beautifully in your professional and your personal life. Trust me, my life has changed by large after I got into leadership roles. And this is not something that only I say, it is evident with all the people around me. People come and tell me, they ask me things. People like when I posted for my club growth director aspiration in the Facebook, I had pings from my teachers from my school days, and they said how happy they were to see me. And those were the teachers who didn't even knew that I was in their class. They don't know my name. 2-3 years before, when I was in my hometown, I met few of my teachers who had come to do a shopping. They still have the beautiful friendship. And when I went to introduce myself to them, they asked me, "Oh, you were a student? Oh, is it? Okay. So which batch were you?" I told the first rank student's name, okay, Nitya Swaminathan. And then they recognized me. "Okay, you are from that batch. What is your name, by the way?" That was the question they asked me. But 3 months ago, when I nominated as club growth director, and then I put on a poster saying, "This is what I'm aspiring to do," they pinged me back on Facebook and they said, "Whatever you have grown is all because of what you are." And I actually personally pinged my English teacher and I said, "You gave me a passion for this language, and that is where I have landed up as a better person because of that." And she said, "I don't remember you, to be honest, but then whatever you have grown is purely because of your efforts." So it is not because you are going to work as an area director, add new club, add new members. No, it's not that. Consider this 1 year as a beautiful opportunity for you to do something in the life of other people. You have a beautiful power, support, and resource. Power with your title. Of course, when you enter a club and you say that you're an area director or a division director, definitely they see you in a different way. That's the power that comes to you. But what you do next defines whether that power is going to be given to you or not. So carry yourself with a lot of elegance. Realize that you have a beautiful opportunity to do a lot of transformation in the life of other people. Give these platforms benefit to more and more people. Let them realize the value that they can get out of it, and be a natural member who is here by their choice. And at the end of the term, you will be grateful for what you have done. See, imagine June 30th of 2022. On that night, when you sleep, what is it that you want to think about yourself? I'll give you 10 seconds to imagine that. Do you want people to remember you as a person who was President Distinguished Area Director, President's Distinguished Division Director? That's not going to matter. But on that night, if you can remember the faces of all the people who started speaking better, the faces of people who got placed because of the communication that they learned in the Toastmasters session, the faces of people who got a lot more of confidence and realized that they could do much more because they became a member in your club, that is going to matter to you. And if you have done that, you would also be a President, Distinguished Area and Division Director, because these targets given by TI are not very difficult to reach. What is difficult to reach is finding the right set of people who are waiting to be part of Toastmasters, taking this forum to them and giving them the best of experience. And more importantly, taking care of the people who are part of your area, your division, and giving them the best experience so that they do great things for the people around them. So this is the opportunity and the power given to you. Use it wisely. Let us all do it together. You have everyone waiting to work with you. Let us do this as a team and let's have a great term. On that note, let me pass it on back to the MC.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot for that amazing